feeling alone, and it's late at night, and it feels like a movie in black and white. And I turn off the road.
Alright guys, let's talk about Bigfoots and Mopars. I think I'm going to change the title to Bigfoot and Show Cars because I actually have two pretty sweet cars. I own my dream car. Unlike a lot of guys, recently on a streamcast, John Wilburn was talking about that, how some guys have a picture of a car in their head and they don't think they'll ever be happy unless they own it. Well, I'm one of those guys that happens to be lucky enough to own one of the cars that I've always dreamed of. I've always wanted a 68 or 69 Satellite or Roadrunner. And I prefer your pedestrian versions of the muscle cars, your Satellites, your Belvederes, your Coronets, as opposed to like the Super Bs and the Roadrunners and stuff like that, because I've always wanted to make my cars look the way I wanted to, and I don't want to be the caretaker of a numbers matching car. So that's one of the things that I've always learned over the years when I was growing up as a kid, searching all the different ads for the different types of cars, that you could usually get in cheaper, and you could usually get away with doing whatever you wanted to the sub models. So that's a little tip for any of you are out there searching for your dream car. Sometimes you can actually be happier with something that's not quite what you envision in your head. Of course, if I could have a dream car, it would be an all black 69 Roadrunner A12 with a 4-speed. But that's unrealistic. I don't want to spend that kind of money to have a car that I'd be afraid to drive. My Satellite's perfect. I like the contrast between the silver and the black. I like the fact that I can put up a different motor and stuff like that in it. But anyway, enough about that. Some of you guys are probably going to be disappointed that the 70 Coronet is gone. I'm not. That project was way too big and too ambitious for me. And you can watch one of my videos, Bigfoot Spirals Out of Control, to kind of figure out how I got there. But anyway, I talked to some of the YouTubers in the chat group about how I was thinking about getting rid of the project, and I finally broke down and I listed it on Marketplace. And right away you start getting guys like, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. Everybody wanted to buy the RT bucket seats. Everybody wanted to buy a fender or the hood, little pieces here and there. Like cherry pick all the parts that I'd gathered to complete the project, but nobody wanted to pony up the amount of money that I was asking. And I thought I was being fairly reasonable. But then I got a personal text, and it was from Andy. I had had him in my contacts ever since I bought the Coronet from him, because he was a cool guy, and I figured, sometime I'd reach out with it to him again. Just another awesome Mopar guy in the local area. But anyway, when I saw his text, he's like, "Hey Mark, I'd be interested in buying the Coronet back." So let's step back to when I bought the Coronet. Andy's a body guy. He usually has like 2 to 3 cars in his shop that he's doing for customers, and he can do full custom, like full-blown concourse restorations. I mean, the guy painted this when he was 19 years old, so you can only imagine the type of quality of work that he puts out now. So needless to say, his talent there is somewhat in demand, and he had been booked up with customer projects and then busy with his daily life. Didn't really have storage space for the car at the time, and knew it was going to be about 2 to 3 years before he could start on it, so he posted it on Craigslist. There I wound up with the engine that was too big to put in a Satellite without having to do any modifications, and that car seemed like the perfect candidate, so I wound up buying it from him. He regretted selling the car because he's owned some Super Bs and some 70 Coronets in the past, and he'd always wanted to build his dream car, which is a totally badass 1970 Coronet Super B. But the cars have never worked out for him. Well, 2 to 3 years down the line, he's in that spot where he would be able to take on a project for himself. And it just so happened, my burnout just happened to happen at the same time. So when he saw that, it was kind of like, wow, what a coincidence. A bunch of us just did that. What would you do to get one back? One that you let get away. And Andy was going to have the opportunity to get back one that got away. Well, the more that we got talking, the more that we realized that, a trade would be possible. And so we wound up, this car, it kind of suits my needs. It's beautiful, it's shiny. It's an awesome car, great quality build, something that I would aspire to build if I was able to. And then he was going to get the car to be able to build what he wanted with my drivetrain, with the QA1 front suspension, my stroker motor, my complete drivetrain. Everything's all set up and ready to go. It just was waiting for the right guy with the right talent to be able to put it together. The cool thing about this channel is the direction I'm going to go now is just going to be me hanging out, enjoying my cars, taking them for drives, going to car shows, cruises. John Wilburn mentioned getting a get-together for smaller YouTube channels somewhere down maybe in the Tennessee area where people could bring their cars and kind of drag race each other and meet each other. So that's a goal of mine. I'd really love to be able to do that. If possible, I'd like to take both my cars, my Satellite and the Jack Pine Savage here. So that's kind of the direction my channel is going to go now. It's just going to be me, an auto enthusiast, enjoying my cars. There's still going to be some minor things that we're going to be doing to the cars, little tweaks. You know, nobody's ever really done with a car. No car is ever completely finished. Still want to do the big block swap on the Satellite, so hopefully some of you guys will stick around for that. But we're going to be able to follow the evolution of the Coronet as well. And he said it's fine if I come by and kind of take video here of like little progresses that he makes. He's going to build the car in steps. First, he's going to work on all the body work, the sheet metal, get everything kind of straightened out. Then he's going to kind of get it primed and get it running and driving and take it out and have some fun with it. And then the next phase will be doing a really awesome 1970s style custom paint job. That the one that you described to me is amazing. If you saw my Mopars in the Park video, there was a blue 69 Coronet Hemi car there that had kind of a 60s, 70s style vibe to it. The car he's going to build would be something sort of like that, which is just amazing. And he's definitely got the talent to do it. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. That's where we're at. I meet with the surgeon tomorrow, and we're going to talk about when I'm going to have surgery on my arm, and then I'm going to be kind of laid up for a while and not able to lift anything for 3 months. So I'll see what I can do. I'm sure I'll still be lurking around. But I just wanted to clarify too, this channel's never really been planned to be monetized. I've always said that it's just my way of seeing pictures of my own cars on my big screen TV. And the true benefit of this, and the real reason I started it, was to be able to reach out and communicate with other YouTubers who I really enjoy and admire their content and stuff. Basically, my first video was Hello YouTube Garage, because at that time there was a garage gang that was hanging around. They kind of imploded due to some politics stuff, but anyway, the new group of guys out there now are pretty awesome. Being able to join in on their live streams and to meet some of them in person. I got a chance to meet the Battery guys at Mopars in the Park. I got to meet Ryan, who's a local YouTuber, who's a really cool guy. Him and his dad, great resources and great, good guys to deal with too. But anyway, that's why I'm into YouTube, and so I'll always be kind of lurking around and just doing my own thing. But thanks for sticking around this long.